What is happening, traders? God bless each and every single one of you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about ticker symbol AMC, baby, as well as the broader market and trickling in GameStop for you guys. So make sure to stay the full length of the video, slap the subscribe button, and let's get straight into it, guys. I want to start on the shorter time frames because I want to show you why you saw the close that you did, right? So looking at the 30-minute candle time frame, you can see this very beautiful uptrend that you've established from the before earnings, right? The 17th of July, seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 taps now off of that thing. And that's what you came down to test today. Seeing a tap off of that and a nice bounce and a break of this downtrend in the freaking stock. Now, once you saw that break, you saw a nice 30-minute candle of 3.4% here, and you're trading above all your EMAs. This is absolutely bullish, and that's why you saw the close that you did today, right? Looking at the daily time frame, you could see an absolute boom candle on the 1-hour chart, not just breaking this down sloping resistance, but then looking at the daily time frame, right? Getting a beautiful freaking daily candle close, guys. You get a bullish hammer candle, seeing 2 back-to-back bullish candles, and an uptick in volume here. You close the day with 44.7 million shares, up from yesterday's 42.3. But there's more than that, right? The story is told by the volume, and the volume downtrend is coming to an end here on the shorter time frame as this downtrend breaks and you see a bullish hammer candle close. You tested this uptrend, you broke above this downsloping resistance. There's no reason for this not to be a upwards trajectory kind of day tomorrow going into Friday, right? So the day is setting up for Friday to be an absolute banger, and we'll have to wait and see, right? Typically when AMC looks amazing, that's when this thing loves to see a dip. So we're gonna have to wait and see to see what this thing does. You do still have your technical gap not filled yet at 205, traders, that we're watching and waiting to frickin' see. We'll circle that for potential future price action. Now, looking further into the daily closes, let's go to the weekly. This is the highest weekly volume that you've seen on AMC in a very long time, guys. And the weekly chart is what is, in my opinion, the most exciting, right? Because you currently have the highest weekly close since all the way in the previous local high here when you tapped 290 and then saw a capitulation, right? So you're closing higher highs on the weekly time frame, highest volume bar since all the way back here in June of 2024, right? This move. And above that, traders, you're seeing, go to the Weeble for this one. On the weekly time frame, guys, on Weeble, you're seeing this thing close above the 50-day EMA. We said previously this is absolutely the best case scenario. Close above the 50-day EMA on the weekly time frame, traders, and this earnings move gets priced in from the freaking move up. When you had that 37% move, you're now getting the 9-day EMA curling up at a higher velocity, right? This blue line will act like a freaking tidal wave, and when this crosses through the yellow, traders, the 50, so you're getting the 9 through the 50, that should give you volume, that should give you price action to the upside, and that should give you crazy strength to hopefully break above 318 and get back in to this liquidity zone of this 318 to 556 area, guys. That's going to be a very stubborn area, as that's where the majority of your volume on the stock has been traded. But above that, guys, is where it gets really exciting when you're talking about squeeze targets, right? So very encouraged off of today's price action. Super stoked about the close today. I wish we were live. We might go live again soon, but we will see. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart, you have volume, like we said, coming down as you went into the breakout. You want to see volume begin to stair step tomorrow morning. You could get the 4-hour MACD crossing green tomorrow, as you have the last 1, 2, so 8 hours of trading beginning to wean or get less of bearish volume / bearish pressure. So this bottom line could begin to curl up, and then you could see it cross up for the first time since the 17th and the 20th, right? So that's what we're watching for AMC. You had a little bit of a wedge-like formation here that you could have potentially played to the upside. The technical profit target from that is the full length of the wedge, and that takes you into another test of that 260 territory that we will be watching very, very closely, as it's not just 260, guys, it's also this rising resistance line. So getting a double tap on that, you're much more likely to break through, just like you did here, but we're going to need to see the volume come back into the stock. And I do believe you'll see it. I really, really do. Let's see. Monthly time frame looks absolutely amazing. On the daily time frame, guys, on TradingView, I like to cover the RSI because it gives you the story. When you're above the RSI band of the daily time frame, you are absolutely smoking hot bullish, and that's what you are right now, right? You have a very good opportunity with this candle close to come up here to this very stubborn resistance right around 250. Breaking above 250, guys, no surprise here, is going to be what pretty much gets you bullish, right? That's going to be what validates whether or not you're ready to go higher. If you reject 250, it's likely you're coming down to this 186 to 190 territory, which would fill all of your gaps on the way down. I think 190 is most likely, depending on how you open up tomorrow. But 190, in my opinion, is the swing low here if you see it. And that would be, in my opinion, still very, very bullish. Let's kind of redraw that there for you. Let's see. But beyond that, guys, talking about IWM, then we're going to get into GameStop and then the GME warrants. IWM is a big, big part of AMC, as well as all the risk on market. This has been our thesis since day one, that this thing would hit 300 freaking schmeckles, and you would see small cap stocks, risk on assets go absolutely crazy. What you're currently seeing on IWM is this kind of wedge-like formation. You lost the uptrend that you've been in since April of 2026. Not a great sign, right? Not only did you lose it, you kind of retested it on this candle after you gapped below it. But what's going to be a bigger story and a bigger tell here is whether or not on the freaking 4-hour chart, you can see this thing break out, right? Get back above, get a big fat, you know what it is, bear trap, and then get above not just the uptrend, but also this wedge-like formation. That, in my opinion, would take you back to another all-time high. And there are signs showing here that the bottom may be in, right? Looking at this touch of bullish divergence, you have a lower low on the stock on the 4-hour chart, but a slightly, ever so slightly higher low on the RSI. That would mean for me that you could potentially at least minimum come fill this gap at 293.42 and then either reject from there and go further into the wedge or potentially break out. So that's what we're watching for IWM. I think it looks ready for tomorrow to potentially have a green day again, even though it was very, very marginal. I think you're ready to fill this gap. So that is kind of a coverage on IWM. Looking at the daily time frame, give it a little refresh. Let's see. IWM did have that gap down as well as the 50-day EMA currently sitting at 289 traders. So when you saw these breakdowns, oftentimes they came exactly in to your 50-day EMA and then bounced. This one came slightly short of it, so that's what we may be doing here. I'd like to see this wick into it. If you see a little capitulation candle tomorrow, down $3, and then see that that bear trap, and then you break out. Hopefully, that's your best case scenario to get the most momentum in the bulls' favor, but we shall see, guys. On the daily time frame, whole lot of nothing. Still below the RSI band, so weaker than AMC. This is actually the weekly time frame. Still weaker than AMC. Seeing that wedge-like formation play out. We're going to see tomorrow whether or not that thing breaks up or breaks down. It feels like it's been teetering on the freaking edge forever. On the monthly time frame, curious to see how this looks. This is your first red month on IWM for over 1, 2, 3 for pretty much a quarter. This is your first red month, which is fascinating to me. Even though it's red, it's not red by much. You're only red by 2.78% on low volume. So for the bull case, this could be a little breather before you continue to see higher highs. And the reason I think that is your quarterly time frame, guys. That was your highest quarterly candle close, 21.15% at the all-time high. These candles, these choo-choo candles, freaking wrecking any short in the play, are oftentimes not stopped very easily. So I expect this thing to keep going up and to the right is our expectations for IWM, even though on the weekly time frame, you do have multiple touches of bearish divergence. That's the only thing to be wary of right now. On GameStop, seeing a little bit of a wedge-like formation here and coming exactly down to where we expected it to back in June 30th of 2026. You started this kind of consolidative channel, and we said right here, once you broke down from this uptrend, guys, and retested it, it was likely, after seeing that retest, that you're going to come down and tap this down sloping support before seeing any kind of rally. So now there is an opportunity to see GameStop, potentially good value, go back up here to that $22 strike. So that's what we're watching for in the shorter time frames, right? You may see a little bit of a relief rally on GME before seeing either a breakout or potentially, right, that thing stall and then come back down to this more macro trend line right around that 21 to 2050 territory, guys. That's what we're watching like for GameStop. Go to the daily time frame. This thing's absolutely tripping. Let's see. There we go. So for GME, that's what we're watching. We're watching this very, very clear uptrend here that you could potentially tap right around 21 flat, or this much, much larger accumulative uptrend from this double bottom, as well as this low back in 2024 of August when you tapped $18, guys. So if you got all the way down there, guys, I'm sure many, many people would be slapping the freaking buy button, myself included. And I'm curious to see when this consolidative state comes to an end, because the more you consolidate here, the more pain you're seeing, not just on the RSI as you break this uptrend, but also in people's patience. I think that's what I got for GameStop. Weekly close, I think you will have a better weekly candle going into tomorrow than what you currently have, because of the fact that I expect it to bounce off of this downsloping uptrend or downsloping support here. So hopefully you see a nice bounce upwards of 2150 to get this candle looking a little bit better, and hopefully you break this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, 2 months of downtrending volume, guys, pretty much entirely happened once you saw that eBay acquisition news, and in my opinion will continue to see data decay and depressing volume as the fundamentals kind of unravel, right? You're seeing what's going to happen with this eBay acquisition, and that is the absolute footnote for what we're seeing in for my man Only a Paradise, the GME warrants. That is the only reason, in my opinion, that you're seeing this big of a downslide, is the uncertainty. Now, even though you're up 2.87% in the after market, I do expect this, if GameStop stays flat, to continue to go down, because that expiration is coming closer and closer and closer and freaking closer as October comes right around the corner, and GameStop is nowhere near its expiration price of $30. Is it going to hit that? I've seen crazier things, but I would not bet on it until you see some kind of clarity from Ryan Cohen. On the broader freaking picture, guys, our belief is that GameStop is in a bullish pennant. So even though we're very, very temporarily unbiased to GameStop, look at the freaking weekly time frame. Look at this absolutely juicy pennant on your screen. This thing is immaculate. I think if you come down here to 2050, it is going to be an absolute steal for the share price. And then you could see this thing rocket like a freaking Apollo 11, right? You could see this thing go to the moon. So watching for that very, very closely. Still have your highest gap fill at 73 freaking schmeckles, guys, left back here in 2021 of June. So all in a day's work, guys. I think that's what we got. Looking at the weekly candle for GME warrants, not great. Lowering volume, so that's encouraging. Last 3 weeks, as you absolutely capitulate. So maybe there will be a nice hammer candle going into Friday. That would be nice. But that's what we got for the video, guys. As always, God bless each and every single one of your families. And remember, traders, I truly believe this. The best is yet to come. We shall see, though. Much love and peace.